G'day family, how are you all doing? Now I was going to do a live tonight for a scene second Passover, which is May 1st or sunset, May 30 becoming, April 30 becoming May 1st. However, after watching Brother Jaco's video on Passover, second Passover, I've decided I'm going to do my live for the 14th, second Passover on the Hebrew calendar, not the Essene calendar. Now the reason I'm saying that is because I think a rapture on the Hebrew calendar is definitely going to be more impactful to the Jews worldwide. But I also notice a few other things, like, now we all know this, but the 14th is Israel's birthday. And the Pope has passed, and from what I can gather, not long after the 14th, we will have the announcement of a new Pope. Now, I'm not 100% certain we're going to see that, because I'm not quite sure what role this new Pope actually plays. I could be wrong. We may well see that, and we may be here on after the 14th. But I've decided to do my live in accordance with sunset on the 13th, becoming the 14th in Israel, their birthday, second Passover, and very close to when we see the announcement of this new mystery, potentially a Pope named Peter. So, I've also been chatting to Brother David and Matt and Sister DJ, as I often do. And you can see, comment. I mentioned second Passover in a recent video simply because we have been on a long journey as a race of people and have touched many dead bodies and caused much death. Now, I mentioned that in a recent video, but then we had, Brother Jaco's video here, God's Roadmap to the End, to end times, and he really expanded more upon second Passover being a feast that actually hasn't been fulfilled. Now, we look at all the Jewish feasts and we can see the fulfillment of them all by Jesus to some degree, also the rapture in all of them. So we can see Jesus fulfilled some of those feasts, but we can see the typology of the rapture in all of them. But one that he didn't fulfill, and I don't believe is going to fulfill, is second Passover. Are we going to fulfill that? So David then replied, with reference to Brother Jaco's video, what it made me think of was the timing and the order of things to come. Before Jesus was crucified, Mary anointed his feet with spikenard from her hair. Spikenard is for burial prep. Jesus was the dead body we all touched, or who touched us. Jesus took all our sin in his death that made him ceremonially unclean. Since he left the Holy Spirit in us, is second Passover for us. He is the goodman that's been on a long journey with his bag of money, blessings and promises for his faithful servants. So that's what David said. Now, second Passover, as it says in the Bible, is for those that have touched a dead body or have been on a long journey. Now, Brother Jaco made a very good point that, and we see a lot of this, that the long journey comment was just sort of thrown in there as an added extra. Moses was talking about people who touched a dead body. Yet we get an additional comment thrown in. Exactly how Mike found Are There Not 12 Hours in the Day? And how I've also noticed that when it says in the Bible Jesus wept, that is the only occurrence in the Bible of that version of wept. I think it's G 1195 maybe. Don't quote me. But that is the only time that version of wept is used. All the others are either from the Old Testament or in Hebrew. But the other ones in the New Testament are G, I think it's 2096 or something. Don't quote me on those Strong's numbers. But you have a look at wept in John just before his crucifixion. And it's a different wept than is used anywhere else in the Bible. In fact, it's the only occurrence of that version of wept in the Greek. So as you can see, I thought second Passover was quite likely because of the fact of, the plight of humanity and the bride. We have indeed been on a long journey since Jesus left, waiting for his return, waiting for our blessed hope. And we certainly are guilty of much death, and we have a lot of blood on our hands. So Jesus wasn't crucified a second time. He fulfilled that Passover lamb, etc., at his first crucifixion. Yet our lives, we're told in the Bible, are to be a living sacrifice. Almost a second crucifixion, so to speak, of our own lives. Not that by works we do anything that achieves our salvation, and I'm not equating us to, the crucifixion of Jesus, but we're told that we should present ourselves as a living sacrifice, holy and without blemish. So Jesus fulfilled the first Passover. Do we fulfill the second Passover, or is it us, Holy Spirit-filled bride waiting for the return of Jesus? Is it our second Passover? Jesus fulfills the first Passover, then him in us fulfills the second. On the second Passover, Israel's birthday, right around when we see the announcement of the Pope, which I thought initially was on the 15th. So family, that's where I'm going to leave this. It's just a brief video. Boy, I think we're close. I think we could be in a 2-week countdown here. I really do. I think this second Passover, particularly with the Pope's announcement coming up, particularly with it being Israel's birthday, boy, oh boy, it would make an impact, wouldn't it? And things have just gone crazy. I mean, since my last live, the news is just off the charts still. It's not stopping. We are not getting a cessation of these birth pains. Now, throughout history, we see all sorts of events, but there's always ebbs and flows. This is an exponential increase upwards with no sign of any kind of respite. So I think we're very close, guys. I'm going to do my live based on second Passover, May 14. I'll keep everybody posted with news, etc. before then, but stay in prayer, family. The spiritual attacks are off the charts. That means something. We're leaving soon. God bless.